Hello there everybody, it is me Leo, also known as Freezer Bunny here on YouTube, and welcome to Tiny Glade. So I usually like to do Sims videos on this channel, but occasionally I like to cover other games, and this is a game that I have been really enjoying so far. What you're seeing right now is actually one of my first builds, so quick disclaimer, I'm still figuring out how to build properly at this point. But I'm really happy with what I came out with, and I wanted to share it with you guys, and I also wanted to share my thoughts on the game. Overall, I think it's a pretty easy game to get into. Very beautiful aesthetically and very polished, I must say so as well. And you can also do a lot with this game. It looks like a pretty small game in terms of scope, but you can actually do quite a lot of things, and I've seen some pretty amazing things online as well. I think it's perfect for those casual sessions if you are stressed. It's a very relaxing and cozy game, and I definitely look forward to playing this for short sessions every time I get home from work. And I already have a lot of ideas for inspirations as well. I couldn't stop googling for inspiration images at work. Don't tell my boss though. So yeah, overall I highly recommend you checking out this game if you're interested. And yeah, I'd like to see this aesthetic for farming games like Stardew Valley. I don't know if they ever come out with a sequel for Stardew Valley. I'd like to see it with this 3D aesthetic because I think it's just really beautiful. Also, I just found out recently that this game had like an in-game kind of like stop motion-esque time-lapse feature, which is something that I like to see integrated in games like The Sims because that will make life easier for us Simmers. So hopefully they can look into that. And I'd like to see where they take this game in the future because I think there's a lot of potential here. And I'm very interested to see how they expand on this. I could use more space to work with first and foremost. And I think it'd be nice to have an in-game video recording system. Because so far it only lets you take screenshots, and I think if you want to film videos in the game itself, I think it's a little bit clunky. But those are the only things I have to say. I think I have mostly positives for this game, and like I said earlier, if you're looking for cozy, relaxing, medieval building simulators, then I think this is the perfect game for you. Right now we are actually building a fantasy inspired castle. This is inspired by a real life location in France called Chateau de Milan. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I was just browsing on Instagram, I think, and I found this reference image, and for some reason, the first thing that came to mind is the 1998 Ever After movie. I don't know why that suddenly came to mind when I saw this, because I don't think this is the house they used in that movie. But yeah, that was like one of my favorite period romances with Drew Barrymore, and I gotta say, Angelica Houston was so iconic in that. But it's kind of like a more grounded retelling of the Cinderella story without the supernatural elements. I don't know why I thought of that movie when I saw the reference images, but I did, and it gave me so much nostalgia, so here we are. Also, I'm really into kind of like the fantasy genre right now, because I'm actually reading 2 fantasy books. One of them is Warcraft Archive. Now, I know I'm probably like late to the party to this, but I played Warcraft 3 when it came out back in like 2002, 2003, and I was really into the lore actually, and I didn't know that they made novels for the Warcraft series, specifically novels that expand on the lore. So when I found out, I decided to buy 2 of the first books. The one that I'm reading right now is a book called Warcraft Archive. It's actually 4 books, so it's a pretty thick book, and I just started reading it. I'm currently in a book called Day of the Dragon, I believe. So it's like the first one in that compilation of books, and I'm really enjoying it so far. A bit of a slow start, but I'm really enjoying kind of like just chilling out with a fantasy book. Also, the other book that I'm reading is a book called The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski, which, if you didn't know, is actually the first book in the Witcher series. And once again, I feel like I'm kind of late to the party with this because I played The Witcher 3 for the PS4. That was actually my introduction to the Witcher series, and I also kind of enjoyed the Netflix series. I say kind of because I kind of have mixed feelings on it, but I think the book is actually really, really good. I think it's better than what I expected it to be, and yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it so far. I think I'm more than halfway through it. I'm currently reading, I think I'm in a chapter called Edge of the World, if I'm not mistaken. It's like Geralt and Dandelion's first adventure, if I'm not mistaken. And I really love those two. I love the chemistry between them, especially in the movie, surprisingly. I think, I don't know, I feel like Geralt's warmer towards him in the books and the Netflix TV show, not the movie, because there's no movie at this point. But yeah, I feel like Geralt's nicer to him in the book and the series. I don't know, it just seemed like Geralt was a bit more mean to him in the games, but I don't know, it's a different adaptation. But yeah, that's just my observation so far. But yeah, you guys let me know if you guys are reading any books or watching fantasy shows. I think it's a pretty good year for fantasy, to be honest. One of my favorite fantasy TV shows is literally about to end this week, the second season of Rings of Power. Hopefully they'll do a third season because I've been really enjoying it so far. Also, one of the greatest fantasy animes came out this year, a little show called Frieren. Really amazing so far. Even a lot of my coworkers at the office who aren't like huge anime fans are talking about it, which really surprised me. I just overheard one of my senior architects talk about it in passing, so I was really pleasantly surprised. But yeah, it's a really good show. I think it's been voted as like one of the best animes of all time on different websites last year. I think it's the number one on my anime list. I also saw like a video of like the top animes on Reddit, and I think it was on the top 5 or something, which yeah, I think it deserves that spot, honestly, because it's really good. And another one of the kind of like top fantasy animes is getting an adaptation. Sorry, top fantasy mangas is getting an adaptation, which had Atelier, which is something that I've heard a lot of actually, especially during the COVID pandemic. I think that series got a lot of following from that. I wanted to actually buy the manga, but it was so expensive. I don't know why. It feels like it's a little bit more expensive than the usual manga, but hopefully I can get into it. I don't know if the price is gonna drop if the show comes out, or if I'm gonna be interested in getting the manga when the show comes out, because sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes I lose interest when I see the show, so we'll see. I would like to get into it, but I have enough on my plate right now, and I'm really satisfied with all of the books that I'm currently reading. So yeah, if you guys have any recommendations. I've been loving the adaptation for My Lady Jane, by the way, on Amazon Prime. I didn't think I would like it because I'm usually more of a traditional period drama fan. Like, I think out of all of the ongoing period dramas, I really like The Gilded Age the most because it feels like it's the most traditional one. It never really got into Bridgerton, unfortunately. I mean, I watched like 2 seasons I watched, as well as the spin-off. Couldn't really get into it. I enjoyed my time with it, but I couldn't really like fully get into it. But I really enjoy The Gilded Age. I think it's a great story, and I like the world building, and I like the detail that they put into the worlds. I think most of all, I think that's what I really like with period dramas. I like when they really get into it. So yeah, anyway, if you guys have any suggestions, there's probably a lot of like shows that I don't know about, so if you guys would like to let me know, I'd love that. Because I'm running out of shows to watch. Like I said, Rings of Power will be finishing this week for its second season, and I don't know when Witch Hat Atelier is coming out, probably next year or something like that. I don't know any good animes that's currently airing, so that's kind of sad. But I think they just announced the second series for Frieren, if I'm not mistaken. Side note, it is a good time for horror fans though, because Nosferatu, a highly anticipated adaptation for the early 20th century classic vampire film, is coming out this year on Christmas Day, which is a very interesting time to release it. But I'm interested to watch it though. I'm not sure if I'm like that excited to watch it in theaters on Christmas Day, to be honest, just because I don't want to like shout in the theaters if I get scared, or when I get scared. I'm pretty sure there will be screaming on my part, so I don't know if I'm gonna be watching it on theaters. I wish I could watch it at home, just because I mean, I can shout whatever I want or as loud as I want at home, so it'd be easier for me. My brother's also looking forward to it, by the way, because he's also kind of a fan. But this month, the HBO adaptation of Salem Slot is coming out. Is it HBO? I think it is. Literally one of the scariest vampire movies I've ever seen. The TV movie, that is. Once again, my brother is kind of into horror or something. Every time I like chill in his bedroom, he's always watching like horror YouTube videos. There's this like show called what is it? Death Count, I think. He really likes watching that. And also he likes watching people going to like haunted houses. What's that genre called? I don't know what that's called. But he likes watching those. I think those are really fake, I'm not gonna lie. People pretending to be scared because, you know, they captured something scary on screen. I don't know. I think those are pretty fake. But he likes watching those, so he kind of got me kind of like into the horror genre. Not really, but I'm looking forward to watching one of those vampire movies with him. It's weird because he prefers watching those kinds of shows than like the proper, you know, horror series, which I don't get. I've been trying to get him to watch Midnight Mass with me because, I mean, Mike Flanagan, hello, but he doesn't want to watch it. I did watch Haunting of Hill House with my friends though, back when it came out, and it was literally probably one of my favorite horror series. So yeah. Anyway, I think this build is pretty straightforward, to be honest, so hopefully you guys enjoyed my random commentary for this video. I didn't really have much to talk about because, as you can see, I am just trying to figure out how this build is gonna go as I was working on it. I didn't think it was gonna have a moat at first, but having this moat kind of reminds me of the house from the 2005 adaptation of Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley, because I think their version of Lizzie Bennet's house had a moat surrounding it. So yeah, it's kind of giving me that vibe. But yeah, this is more of a French castle inspired build though, so yeah, as you can see, it has kind of like the pointy spires. I also thought about doing some timber frame parts for this castle, but that didn't quite turn out how I would like it, so I went with more of the traditional stone, brick, and plaster exterior, and over here I'm just decorating the outside. I don't really know what to do with these. I would like to actually see this with surrounding houses. I think that might be interesting to build a village around this. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any suggestions for future content, because I've been really loving this game and I'd like to make more content out of it, to be honest, because it's pretty relaxing actually. And I feel like no matter what you do with this game, it's pretty hard to make something ugly, just because I think aesthetically it just looks really beautiful. And here I'm just playing around with the different lighting, trying to see how it looks at night. And yeah, at the end of this video I will be showing some screenshots, so please stick around for that. But yeah, I think it looks like that is pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for hanging around with me and listening to me geek out about random stuff online. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. You all have an awesome day. Enjoy the rest of the video and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.